Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers will practically build themselves. Okay, folks, we are back at part 2, and here I am still at the table at MRS. The first part of this video, the first minute or two, the sound isn't very good, and I apologize. I was having sound issues back in those days, but there's a few little parts here that you kind of need to see, so let's get to it. Some imperfections here. The spray pattern doesn't quite. I thought was okay, there, but it turns out, I guess my airbrush sputtered a little bit, and there's a goober. Let's see if you can see this. Right there by my thumb. Sorry, by my index finger. I am going to go over this whole thing with a 4000 grit polishing pad. Very easy. Just get it wet and do this number to it. And this should get rid of a bunch of my imperfections. Okay, so now let's look at this body after I've done some polishing. And you can see this goober here is pretty much gone, other than a little discoloration. And when we respray, look at that top. Top looks a lot better. I found a little problem here on the door, and it's gone. That's just using that 4000 grit. And the problem that I had here is gone as well. No, it was really hard to see them, but they were there. And it's not to the quality that I want the paint job to be. So I'm going to put 5 cc's of lacquer thinner. I've already put it in this cup. And I'm going to just put a drop, well, a glop, not a drop, but a glop. That much of the 2780 high gloss clear enamel. And a brush full of that ruby red metallic. Darken it up and give me a little bit of metallic look to it. Actually, we're going to take 2 brushfuls this time. Oh! It's a good thing that wasn't wet, huh? And then my main color. Put a big old glop in here. And stir everything up really, really good. And voila, there's the color. And there's my dropped charger. Okay. Just to make sure everything is good. I don't want to have any boogers on this paint. Now, I'm going to blow it off one more time. Check it really good. Make sure that I don't have anything foreign in it. Okay, and I am cranking the pressure up to about 35 pounds. And let's put a little color on it. Open up my airbrush just a little bit. I want a much broader pattern. There we go. And here we go. Oh yeah, it's going on nice and wet, but not too wet. I'm going to make sure I cover everything well. Again. Down low. The door, the side, the pillar. The side of the pillar. Now I'm not giving it a full blast of air yet. I'm methodically giving it a good even coat. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Okay, here we go. Back to the top. A little more pressure now. Not happy with that. So, just right here in the middle of spraying, I'm going to drop a little more lacquer thinner in. A couple more cc's right into that mix. And then get it a little bit wetter. There we go. There we go. Yep, needed a little more liquid to get the spray the way I wanted it to. Okay. Okay. I'll go over to the side. Oh yes, nice, and it's not too wet. Like I said, it's like the consistency of skim milk. I'm going to go back over the hood one more time here because I just don't like how that pattern was looking. Okay. Okay, and I got my color coat on. I'm going to take and I'm going to put some more lacquer thinner right in the mix. So put a good probably 2 to 3 cc's in. Get this nice and wet and liquidy. See, I still got color, but this has got an awful lot of thinner to it. Okay, here we go. Nice and wet, that's good. I'm going to add the rest of my color. I'll mix this up. Now I'm going to go over this thing one last time. Remember, these are very thin coats, and because I'm using lacquer thinner, it flashes off quick. Oh yeah. I don't know that I want to put any more on my top. I think my top looks pretty good the way I've got it. Hood's looking pretty good. Okay. You notice I keep adding lacquer thinner here. I keep thinning this out even more and more. That's going to help bring the pigments up as it dries, as it flashes off and dries. And it'll be a very nice, even, rich paint. At least it should when we get it all dried here. Open up my nozzle even more now. I want this wet. Not wet enough to sag, but I want this one wet. This is going to give me that good shine at the end. I blasted the top pretty hard. I'm going to blast the trunk lid pretty hard too. Remember, this is really wet. I have to be very careful. But look at that. See any airbrush strokes in there? I see a little bit on the trunk, a little bit on the top. We'll see how this flashes off. We should be good. Side looks good. I say that and then I blast it again because, well, it's just I've got some paint left and I want to make sure I get it all good. Okay. And check my valence real quick. Valence turned out actually really, really nice. So I'll give it a blast anyway. All right. Now we are going to set this aside. It should, like I say, it should flash off and look really good in about an hour or so. But we are going to let it dry overnight and see if we could decal it tomorrow. Now, again, if I was just shooting these enamels with Testors airbrush thinner, we'd want to let this sit for a week. But again, using the lacquer thinner, it causes it to flash off a whole lot quicker and to cure a whole lot quicker. So anyway, we'll be back.